Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Quantum Leap Friday morning session, October the 14th. This is our pre-market trade plan setup. Each morning we get together in these live go-tos to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then drill down to our targets, our trade levels, and our hypotheses for the day. We create multiple hypotheses in order to have a game plan in play for whatever the market throws at us. But we do not try to predict the market. We try to have a plan ready to go. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking out, please send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no blog. There's no website. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to each day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, taking a look at the news this morning. Core retail sales came out as expected. PPI a little bit better. Got a little bit of a bump. We've got Rosengren speaking right now. Don't know what he's saying. 9:30, we've got Bank of England Governor Carney speaking. This could be big news. He's probably going to speak on Brexit. And then at 10 o'clock, we've got preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment, inflation expectations and inventories. And then at 1:30, we've got Yellen speaking. And then we've got federal budget balance out sometime today, but we don't know when. It's going to be a bumpy day today. We've got a lot of uncertainty in the market. We've had a bit of a sell-off, so just be careful. I'm going to try to keep this really quick this morning. Yesterday, we were looking for our main hypothesis, which was a move up and then a push down into the 2107 test. We didn't even get really a push up. I was looking for responsive buying in around initiative selling in around the 21-22 area. I did not think the gap was going to get closed. We went down, tested that 2107 area. Buyers stepped in, and then that was it. They just continued to rip it up all day and went up and got inside of the range. And then rejected the value, and then missed the naked VPOC for by just one tick. No, actually, yeah, 2 ticks. Sorry, 32.75. We got to 32.25, and then they sold off into the close, and we came down and closed in the 26 area. Taking a quick look at the macro to the micro. Going to the monthly, you can see that we've come down and we've tested the month, but we did not violate it. The trend is still in attack upwards. The weekly, we broke below it, and now we're trading just on top of the 20 SMA, but we're not above. We've got a consolidation pattern here, just like we had on the daily, happening on the weekly. I can draw it here for you. So it's basically just a consolidation, on the weekly now, but we are seeing some weakness. Looking at the daily, we did break down below the daily triangle, and we have not really in the RTH session. We retraced it on the FUBAR day, or Mr. Sneaky came down, went put that low, and then coming up and closing the gap. We don't get back inside of the triangle and above the 9 until we get above the 40.75, 40.50 area. But the trend is continuation pattern down. On the 4-hour, we've had the strong trend down. Now we've taken it back, so we're above the 9 and the 20 on the 4. And then on the 1-hour, we have a upward trend. We basically continued the upward move off of the prior day high. We're above the range from the prior day right now. Came back and tested it and then rejected it, and we're getting continuation up. On the 30-minute, we've got a continuation pattern here. Close the technical gap, so the trend is up here. On the 15-minute, same thing, and then on the 5-minute, we were starting to trend down, and the news took us up, and right now we've got a bit of a technical gap and a naked cross down here at 35. Taking a look at the big structure, we are sitting just above the 3-day microcomposite. You see these 3 wicks right here? One of my hypotheses today is getting stuck in these wicks and trading between the 40-50 and the 27 and a quarter, and just chopping around and having a sideways Friday going into the weekend. Our 3-day microcomposite VPOC is at 34. We are inside of this value area until we break out of the 38.75 with the microcomposite VPOC down here in the 29. That's why I'm expecting chop between these two levels. But if we get above the 38, look for them to continue to move up into the 40, and then 43, 44 remains our key line in the sand. Above anything above that, I'm looking for a rotation up into the 53 again and back into the longer time frame microcomposite VPOC. You see, we've got this if you look at the black here, you can see that we have this HVN, microcomposite HVN, that coincides with this 40-50. So if we can get above the 38, I think we've got a good move into that. But we're struggling at this 37 and chopping around this 34 right now with a naked VPOC below us at 32.75. That's going to be open until we close it during the RTH. Anything below 29, look for them to come back down into the prior day. Our naked VPOC is 26.75, just below the 27 and a quarter CHVN, and just below the naked close at or just above the naked close at 26.50. So I'd be looking for them to take that out. But we have found some strong buyers, so we could get a continuation pattern. So just don't get stubborn on the short side. Looking at the overnight, we had a rather dull overnight for most of the night. I was trading it, Marvin and I were trading it, and it was just, we were looking for the breakout. We were both running long, and just took forever to break out, and then it finally broke out. I went to bed right after this breakout, and then it continued up. I'm very tired today because I was up most of the night. So we got a double distribution with the CLVN, or the LVN I should say, at 31.50. A pretty decent range overnight. Our overnight high is 38.75. Our overnight low is all the way down at 22 and a quarter. We went down and tested the CLVN. Our VPOC is not likely to shift. It's at 36. Our daily ATR is running 23.45, so off of the bottom of 22.25. We have 45.75 as our daily upside ATR. And our weekly ATR, we put a new low in yesterday at 2107.75. Our weekly ATR is running 49. So our weekly ATR is now down to 56.75. See all the repair work we have to do above. Got all this stuff up here in the 70s. That's why I'm not convinced that the sky is falling quite yet. Weekly downside ATR we violated yesterday. And then our LVN here is at 31.75, but that is just below our range high, and it's sitting on our value area. That'll be a trade area for me, because if we get below that, then I'm looking for my first target, which will be the 28.75 to be exact, and then the 26 and 27s. We have a double distribution from yesterday with the LVN being just below the low and right by the midpoint, the VWAP and the IB low from yesterday, sorry, IB high. So if we get back inside here, I'd be looking for a trip through this. Below that, we got that 18 target. And then our value area low. And then our daily downside ATR target off of the high overnight, 21.38.75. Is 21.15, right where our weekly is. And then we have that key line in the sand at 07 at the range low of yesterday. Above us, don't need this anymore. We have a little bit of a LVN at 37, but I'm really going to be watching the 38.50, basically the overnight high, and then that range high. Is it range high? I'm sorry, range low, right? Range high at 39.50 for a pop up into our main target above, which is going to be that 40.50. And then our key line in the sand at 43.75. And above that, we're looking for 45. 47.25, and then of course the big target above, which is that 53, back into this this balance there, and then above that we've got our weekly up and the other side of balance at 59. That's going to be our new key line in the sand above. Okay, that's all I need from there. So we're going to be opening outside a range. Well, we still have 30 minutes, but we're looking at an open auction outer range. So we have to prepare ourselves for possible open drive, initial drive up into the overnight high. So I'm looking for an open auction outer range or an open test drive. I think we're going to come down and test the 31, 32 area and test the 38.75. Likely take out both of these within the opening swing or the initial balance. But my main hypothesis is continuation pattern up into the 44s. So I'm looking for a move down, rejecting the range high or coming down and taking out the naked VPOC in that, and then rotating up through, chopping in the 40 area, and then pushing up into the 44 area and testing the low of that symmetrical triangle, and maybe a late day probe up into 53. So hypo 1 is open auction, out of range or open test drive. Take out the naked VPOC, test the range and the value. Maybe dip into value, but finding responsive buyers or initiative buyers and moving up into the 43, chopping around here with a late day probe up into 53. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of range, a move up, take out the overnight high, fail to get inside of the, or break out of this day right here, and rotate down through, chop at the range high of yesterday, then push down through to 27, and then take a trip through value down into the 21 level, maybe push down and test this 14 for a complete trip through value. So that's hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open drive, push up into the 44, chop, and then push up into the 53 and get the continuation pattern, maybe test the key line in the sand above at 59. Hypo 4 is an open auction out of range, a failure to take out the range high here, push down through, chop around at the low, at the LVN, the low volume node, and then push through and come down here and break through this 2107 and come down into our key support and a test of the centennial number at 2100. So those are my main hypotheses. I'm going to keep this short today. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.